Hey everybody, Patrick here's rep for April Fool's Day 2013. This is Monday Night Paintball. Alright guys, time for some paintball news and industry trends. Omaha Vicious has a new coach by the name of Todd Martinez. He's coming from LA Infamous. He's got 17 years of paintball experience and he's going to whip the team into shape. They didn't do very well at the Dallas Open, and so we're looking forward to seeing what he can do for Omaha Vicious. The University of Connecticut's Air Force, ROTC, is going to have a big paintball event. It's going to last 2 or 3 days. Now, there's going to be different missions in it that involve downed pilots who need to be rescued or crossing enemy territory. Lieutenant Colonel Perry, the head of the program, says that paintball really helps students in the mindset of combat. Even though these aren't real bullets, it makes these cadets act as though they are because they don't want to get hit. So it's very interesting to see paintball being used by the military to train our nation's finest. Very cool move by Vulcan. For those of you who want to get your hands on some Vulcan gear but live in Canada and don't want to pay all those extra broker and custom fees, they're going to be fronting those bills from now on. They're going to be distributing it across the border and have come up with an agreement to make it more affordable for those of you in the 51st state who want to get your paintball on. LA Infamous is going to be competing in the Millennium Division in Europe. They want to expand to different tournaments around the world, not just in the US. So we're very proud to see a US team going to go compete in Europe and hopefully do us proud. There's going to be a really cool event going on April 13th and 14th. It's being put on by West Point Military Academy. It's going to be called Operation Husky, the Fight for Sicily. Now this is a yearly event that West Point puts on. They put their cadets through this combat-like game to give them more of a sense of what the battlefield's like. Very cool. For those of you who are going to go, be sure to take some pictures and videos and put them on our Facebook page so we can share them with everybody, show them what a good time you had. Speaking of April 14th, there's going to be a really cool scenario going on in West Milford, New Jersey. It's going to be put on by Sons of Vengeance, and it's called the French and Indian War 2854. The basic storyline behind this is that 1,000 years after the American Revolution, in the year 2776, the British Empire actually regains control of the Americas, and there's a second French and Indian War. This is going down at the Paintball Depot Game Park, and pre-registration is $65, which includes entry, 1 case of paint, and air. If you register as a walk-on that day, it's going to be $75. So we recommend you go online and register there. Alright guys, we got 2 tactical tips this week. For the first one, I'm going to hand over the stage to Kusha and Jeremy from Savoy 6. Now Jeremy is a United States Marine, and he's going to go over some safety rules that are used not only on a gun range, but on the paintball field as well.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Kush and Jeremy with Savoy 6. Jeremy's a Marine Corps veteran, and he's going to give us some pointers on safety rules.
Alright guys, everybody wants to have a safe, fun time. So 5 quick safety rules, easy to remember, easy to exhibit. First one is treat every weapon as if you're loaded. What that means is, you've seen it all the time. People pick up their weapon and look down the barrel. Just always treat it like it's loaded, and that way you're not going to shoot yourself in the eye. That way you don't pick up the gun and you see where kids pick it up and they just squeeze the trigger. Just always assume it's loaded and have it in a safe direction. Alright, never point at your weapon at anything you not intend to shoot. So if you're just picking up your gun, you're showing your buddies, you're flashing it around. If I'm going to treat that weapon as if you're loaded, you're pointing a live weapon at me. It's just not safe, it's just not smart. Somebody's going to get hurt. It may be 1 in a million, but for every million there's always that one. And that's somebody that goes home without an eye. Also, keep your fingers straight off the trigger until you're ready to fire. What that means is while you're crawling out there in the fields and your finger's on the trigger, you're doing the wrong thing. Keep your fingers straight off the trigger until you're ready to fire. That way you don't maybe trip and accidentally squeeze one off into your buddy's. Another thing you gotta remember is keep your weapon on safe until you're ready to fire. If your weapon's on fire, you're crawling around and your finger's on the trigger, and I mean it's just a bad day for everybody. Obviously call your shots, know when to shoot, know what condition your weapon's in, if it's on safe or if it's on fire. Just keep it on safe when you're not ready to fire, that way nobody gets hurt. Also, know your target what lies beyond. You may be aiming in at a buddy, or excuse me, a bad guy, but there could be a buddy behind them or a group of your friends that if you miss, you're going to hit them.
Maybe a dead guy.
You could also think of somebody walking off the field, exactly, taking extra balls for no reason. One other thing is maybe you're playing a private game somewhere and you got bystanders out of bounds. And just because I see my bad guy, there's also friendlies behind him without safety gear on. It's just not a good target.
Yeah, aim intelligently.
Yeah, just be smart. It's a thinking man's game. Safety's always first. Nobody ever said safety last. and have a safe, fun game, and just play.
All right, make sure you guys implement these rules, and if you guys have any questions, just write on our page, and Jeremy can get back to you.
Semper Fi.
Now this tactical tip is on request from Wilson Lamb. He's a customer who went on our Facebook page and asked me to make a video on the different kinds of vertical grips out there and how they're used for paintball. Now keep in mind that all of these accessories, whether it's vertical grips or packs or optics or iron sights, these were all designed for firearms. So they were brought into the paintball community to give you a more realistic look and feel to a real firearm, to simulate one, but they were designed for a specific purpose. For vertical grips, that purpose is improving your speed of snap movements from target to target, or mitigating recoil. Now starting from the oldest, this kind right here is the most classic vertical grip out there. It's only two parts, the grip itself and then this screw piece in the bottom that pushes up into the slot between the Picatinny rails to keep it from moving forward or backward. The basic idea behind this is to give you not only more comfortable grip so that your wrist isn't twisted out, but to improve your speed snap movements from target to target. Transitioning from left to right gives you a little bit more positive control underneath the bore, and this was designed to have a thumb under bore. I'm going to go ahead and wrap around that thumb underneath the barrel and use it like this. Pretty straightforward, very classic style, probably came out in what, like the 60s or 70s, still very popular today. Now moving on, after the classic style grip, you start to see people utilize that space inside of it to hold batteries, or in this case, a bipod. Now this one's a little bit tall, but it's still it's used the same way, has a spring-loaded bipod that comes out of it. You'll see some that have flashlights built into them or storage space inside. It's a really good area because your hand's already there to put controls like your flashlight or laser controls. Some people even have push-to-talks that they prefer to put on their marker or on their rifle because their hand is there anyway, so you can't get any faster than already having your finger on the button. Now progressing forward, we see some folding vertical grips. Some of these have storage space inside, some of them have some of the accessories that I mentioned before. This one has two positions, it's either folded up or locked out. It's very useful for those of you who are going to have different kinds of missions. Maybe you're in a vehicle and you don't want to have all this bulk, you want to just fold it down real quick, or maybe you have kind of a smaller case for your marker and you want to make everything fit. Either way, it's nice to get out of the way if you don't need it. Now as people's grips on their rifles started to change, they started to try to get their thumb over the bore. They found that if you put your hand up next to the barrel much higher, there's less likelihood that the gun's going to rock. With a vertical grip, your hand way down here, when you snap, you're going to get a sway. In a real firearm, now they're a little bit heavier, there's a lot more recoil, stuff like that. For paintball, it may not apply to you, but they found out that having a thumb overboard grip, having your hand high on the muzzle like this, you end up having much more positive control over where that weapon system is pointing and keeping it pointed in that direction. So these stubby grips, like this Matador version right here, are designed for only your four fingers to be used while your thumb wraps around the top. So now you have a positive thumb overboard grip, and you still have that front to back stability. You can pull the weapon system into your arm more. Your hand is still kind of vertical like this, so it's a little bit more comfortable than twisting your wrist forward. And it's a very popular thing that you'll see in a lot of firearms and paintball guns today. And finally we arrive at the Magpul AFG, or angled foregrip. Now you're very likely to see these on a lot of our ads, our posters, and videos. This was designed by a couple of guys that started Magpul Dynamics, the training part of Magpul Corporation, to give you a very good cross between a vertical grip and just grabbing the handguard itself. This is extremely comfortable. It puts your hand in pretty much just the right angle for you to be able to sustain that grip for a long amount of time. You have your thumb over the bore. It's very good positive control over the muzzle, really fast snap movements, still giving you that positive forward to backward control of mitigating recoil. You can pull it, use your left arm to really pull the rifle into your shoulder. Very cool. These grooves here on the front, back, and in the center. The center one's optional. Help lock your fingers into there so your hand's not going anywhere. Very cool grip. That came out a few years ago. You'll see this on tons of firearms out there and paintball guns alike. So special thanks to Wilson Lamb for requesting this tactical tip. If there's any tactical tips you'd like in the future, just go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/RapForUSA, and either post to the wall or send me a private message. Either way, I'll get it. I'm on there every day and I will respond to you very quickly. Thank you very much. That brings us to this week's topic of discussion, which goes along with this week's tactical tip. Vertical grips, which one do you prefer? Out of the 5 different styles that I just showed, which one is the one that you're rocking on the battlefield? Go to facebook.com/rap4USA and let us know. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Now remember, Monday Night Paintball is your show. We make it from the content and generate it from our Facebook page. So if there's anything you'd like to see in next week's episode, just go to facebook.com/rap4USA and let us know. Looking forward to hearing from you. We'll see you out there.